You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
Hello, welcome everyone to my show on this Tuesday, the 13th of August 2024. And tonight we're joined by the lead vocalist of a great band here, also located in good old the UK. I feel like I've featured more people from the UK this year than I have done in my whole time on YouTube, so it's great to be able to feature more UK bands over here. It's good to see that, and it's great to have on the lead vocalist. I'm hoping I pronounced this correctly now, because this will be a do or die thing, from the Defects. Please welcome along Tony.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, because of course I did not set this up. I was contacted to ask if I was interested in having you guys on the show, and I thought, well, why not? You guys have been exploding this year with firstly your debut album, and now going on your UK tour later this year, which we'll dive into. So you guys having a very, very busy 2024 so far.
Yeah, no, it has. It's been a very busy year. You know, last year was spent setting it all up, getting ready for this year, and then it was all guns blazing. You know, we started off doing shows with Mice and Men, then we went on a festival run. We released our debut album, Modern Era. A lot happened this year, and it's kind of like it's a great weight lifted. You know, now it's finally over the line, and it's so good to hear like the response and what everyone is thinking and just vibing with it, you know. And now, you know, we've got this little break, but we've got another headline tour coming up, and we get to kind of celebrate that release with everyone who weren't able to make it on the 3 headline shows that we had earlier this year. So it's going to be great to see, like, you know, the response now and how much it's grown, and like how many people know the words and stuff. Like, it's such a good feeling, like, and I can't wait to see what next year brings. You know, it seems to be a domino effect. So
yeah, absolutely. And this is anyway. So tell me about you know, you mentioned about having a busy year in 2024, you know, and it's all part of the process. I mean, you know, how many, I guess, years have you been working towards this, I guess, busiest year with releasing your debut album as well? I bet that was pretty cool to get out.
I mean, it's been busy since day one, really. Like, obviously, I was in another band before this, and I was like, touring heavily and very involved with their, you know, last album. So it never really slowed down, but we had to keep up with the, you know, the amount. You know, we had to keep up with the how do I word it? Just the sheer like scale of like we couldn't drop the ball. You know, it's just there was so much to do and set up. Like as a new band, like it was just so hectic, and writing the album was probably the easiest part. You know, but like playing the shows, building the brand, everything like that, it was so hectic, and sometimes you were just like, freaking, I need to take a step back. But you know, to get to this year, and like we've finally done all of that. It's like it's been our busiest year, but I'm so glad to like just chill for a minute and take 5 and look at what we've achieved, and it's just unbelievable. You know, I'm just so proud of what me and the guys have done over the last like 2 years. It's just been amazing, and like we just can't wait to continue to, you know, write music and play shows and just build this fan base. You know, like from what we've seen in the last couple of years, it has been like really special. You know, seeing the reaction from people from where it started, like no one knew who we were, to now where asking about the words and people are like going mad in the mosh pit for us, and like you can see the growth, and it's so worth it. You know, it's so worth doing the grind, and you know, getting to the point where sometimes you need to pull your hair out. You know, it can be it's worth it, but it's a lot. You know, but it's like I said, all of that kind of stuff it makes it worth it.
Exactly. You are now seeing the finishes piecing of it because of the fact that you put all this hard work and dedication into this project. I'm going to call it a project. You might want to call it something else, and you're now seeing, I guess, the workings of it by putting all those time and effort into it. Is now showing that people are interested in the music you're creating and are relating to it and wanting to come out and cheer for you and go absolutely ballistic whenever you guys come out to perform. This is absolutely great, and it's great to see that. And we have many of your fans in the YouTube live chat as well. We've got many questions geared for you, which we'll get into in a few moments. But before we do that, tell me about the name for the UK tour, because many people outside of your fan base who may watch this show or listen to this show might know particularly the word the Bloodline from something completely else. So tell me, where did you come up with the title for this tour? It's quite a good tour. I do like the name of it.
So the Bloodlines tour kind of came about from the song Broken Bloodlines. We wanted to kind of go along with that. You know, we thought it was a good title, what it represented, and it's just, you know, full on aggression, this tour. You know, our release tour that we did was only 3 shows, but this one, you know, we're around the whole UK again.
Yeah.
With Knife Bride and Profiler. You know, it's gonna be a really aggressive like set from start to finish, and there'll be a few tricks up our sleeves as well that no one's seen. So if you haven't actually come to one of our shows, like, this is the time to. So yeah. But it's as simple as that. It's no, like, it's so funny when people ask me, like, you know, with things, oh, like, how did you come up with it? One, if it sounds good, we'll go for it. But like, the second part is like, it tied into that song really well, and the artwork. So we're like, let's use it.
Yeah, why not? Let's use it. It's a great name, and you know, it's catchy, and it gets to the point, and it stands out as well, because many people think, oh, the Bloodline tour, what's that all about? And then when they read into it, they're more eager to come out. So, and as we mentioned as well, because we got the graphic to show it, you can, of course, it kicks off on the 29th of October in Glasgow. That's how Scottish I can do, unfortunately. But then you go to Newcastle, then of course right here in my hometown of Manchester, then of course you're off to Leeds, then off to good old London, kind of the Cockney end of the world, and then up to Bristol, then up to, of course, back down to Oxford, and then finishing off in Birmingham. So different accents there. Yeah. I try to do, not taking
my second hometown, Birmingham.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, you start in Glasgow and you end in Birmingham. That's not bad. You know, it's quite good.
No, honestly, like, I've always had like a soft spot for Birmingham, and like, you know, when we did our first ever headline tour back in 2022. That was one of the first places to sell out, and it was just like, it was magical, that show. Crowd surfing, pits and everything. That was kind of like the first taste of like what was to come and what's been building. It's just like, I've always just had a good time. I hear a lot of bad, like, negative press on Birmingham, but every time I've gone there, whether it be to go out for a drink with the lads or go into practice, meeting people, it's always been like nothing but good. So for me, maybe I've missed it. Maybe I need to go there on a really like dark, dingy day and just get mugged to really know what Birmingham is about. I don't know, but I've been lucky so far. So.
Well, if you got some wood around you, then you should knock on it, because, you know, we want you to keep having good luck every time you go to Birmingham or anywhere else on this amazing UK headline tour. It starts again in Glasgow at the end of October, and it's just in time for Halloween. You'll be performing right here in Manchester on Halloween night. So you mentioned about tricks earlier. Will you be dressing up in Manchester for for Halloween?
Oh, we shall see. We shall see. There's going to be many bags of tricks that haven't been seen before, you know. So looking forward to, you know, seeing what people think, and you know, yeah, it is around Halloween. So I hope that people who come bring their best costumes and you know, have fun and jam out. You know, we've never done a Halloween show, so
well, I'm glad Manchester could be the first, then, can't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Only in Manchester. So you better make it as scary as possible for the people who's coming, because we want them to be freaked out. Not in a bad way, because it's Halloween, obviously. So we want them to be freaked out and be scared of whatever the tricks will be on the night.
Exactly, but all I can say is this, like if you know the words, just don't be afraid to sing. It's going to be one of those where we're just going to try and make a really good vibe and just accelerate, elevate what we've done before. Like these shows are, special to us, and we want to have a special time with every single one of you. That's the point of this. To make good memories and just have a really, really good time. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. This is our biggest headline tour that we've done to date, and it's just doing it with the two bands that we've got with us, and friends of ours as well. It's going to be a really, really good tour, really, really good tour. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, it will soon be it. We're in August now, and before you know it, it'll be the end of October, and you'll be hitting that road all across the UK. And let's get into some questions, because I'm sure people are desperate to ask their questions. So let's get into it. So, Linda Van B says on YouTube, Defects are doing a headline tour. Will there be a meet and greet? Good question, I think.
It's something that we haven't spoken about, but I think, to be honest, at this rate anyway, it would be a case of if people are there early, we'll have no problem meeting people. I don't think we'll do like a meet and greet as of yet, but it's something that we'll consider doing. But if we're there and you spot us, come say hi. We're not afraid to, say hi or whatever. We're obviously going to be there at the end of the show. We always are. So, after the show, if you're still around and you want to come and say hi and take a photo with us, always welcome. So until like maybe way down the line when we do something cool, like we might at some point do like an acoustic thing for a meet and greet. I don't. It's a weird one. I don't like agree with just like, oh yeah, you just have a simple meet and greet and you meet the band and that's it. There needs to be something special about it. There needs to be a reason other than you meeting people. I think that's a bit of a cop out. So if we do something in the future, and we'll do it like there'll be an acoustic set, there'll be some special merchandise or something, just so it separates it from the rest and it's a special experience then.
Yeah, outside the box creativity, and it gives it more meaning as well, doesn't it? Than just a regular meet and greet where you can do that pretty much anywhere you go. Exactly.
I just think that, just meeting somebody, I don't think that should be behind a paywall, really. I think an experience in itself, all right, to a degree, depending on what you do, should be, because it helps us out. But meeting someone, I don't think that's the thing.
No.
So.
No, I agree there. And as well, you got people from, not here in the UK, but also from the Netherlands tuning in as well. And apparently, people want to know, when will you do Wheels on the Bus meta style? He promised in an interview a while ago.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry. We've been so busy with stuff since then. Don't think we've forgotten about you. That whole Wheels on the Bus thing will happen. I think what we should do is, if you do come to one of the shows, we should definitely start a fucking massive pit. And I'll start screaming that. We'll get some like really heavy thing going. I don't know why I did that. I guess that's air guitar.
I'm guessing that's not one of the tricks you'll be doing on the night. Will it be doing an air guitar?
Oh, Wheels on the Bus go round. All that kind of stuff. Oh, absolutely.
Love it.
I'm trying to find your, because I'm obviously on here. I can't see the comments, so I'm trying to find it on my phone so I can connect and have a little read as well.
Yes, well, you should just go, if you just go to Edward Fowler on YouTube, it should take you straight to my channel where this is currently being live on. So hopefully you're able.
There you go.
You found it. Great, he's found it. Well, he can now tune in as well.
Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't see any of the comments.
Yeah, just like, randomly. I could be making this whole thing up. So now you know.
Write the questions down.
Yeah, now you know.
John says, why are you a piece of... Oh, we can't air that.
Well, we could do, but yeah, but no, I don't want to be getting into any legal issues. But I mean, you can see the comments now, and you can see the questions and whatnot. So feel free to openly respond to any.
So this one goes out. This one goes out to Mr. Bolt because I'm bad at using Octane, mate, because I've got a really bad player in my third party on Apex who just goes and rushes all the time, and I have to try and save him. So there's your freaking reply, mate. Right? And also, if it does look like my webcam is on 144p, that's because it probably is, because my network connection's not great. So if I do look like I'm like really like buffering at any point, that is my connection. So I apologize about that.
No, that's totally fine. Thank you for letting me know right now, because I've had guests come on here and then in mid sentences they froze and then we've lost them. So you will not be the first. I will tell you that. But let's move on, because of course we mentioned briefly about your of course debut album, which came out a few months ago, which I will show right now, I hope. There you can see it right on your screen. That's one of the websites where you can buy it from. Modern Era. Tell us about that. Tell us about the reaction to that so far this year, because it came out a few months ago and I'm pretty sure you guys are very happy with how the fans have received it, and even maybe even getting newer fans as well since then.
The crazy thing is, like, I'll be real, it's like when we wrote this album, we were writing it for ourselves. Like, we had so much pent up frustration during COVID, and I'm sure I'm not just speaking for myself there, but I obviously like wrote that all down on paper alongside my mate Luke. He plays guitar so well and writes instrumentals like you wouldn't believe, and it's just me and him came together and just wrote something like golden, like for us, that we could really relate to. It's weird how it's translated now, and how people like love the lyrics or love the melodies or whatever, and you get people singing back. That's a weird experience, because now people are taking away like something from the songs that might not even be related to the way we were venting, and they're venting in their own way that's maybe non-COVID related, for example, or whatever. It's like seeing that and seeing people take hold of these songs and make it personal to them has been like a touching experience for me. And that's kind of what music's all about anyway. I've done that in the past with bands that I love, like Linkin Park, Killswitch Engage. Like, those two bands meant so much to me. So seeing that in like a full circle way, nowadays with my music is touching, and it's something you just never really get used to. I'm just hoping that we can continue to do this, and people want to come see us play and listen to our music when we release more music.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's great to see that. And I'm guessing as well, have you had many people reaching out regarding the messages, as you said, about the frustration about the whole COVID situation? I'm guessing you've had lots of messages agreeing with your statements and being able to agree with what you said, because I bet many people were thinking the same, but they didn't want to speak out in case something, happened against them or something. But when they heard the type of statements you guys were making through your music, I guess it brought more that message clearer, and there's more people out there who are feeling the same way.
Yeah, I think it was like a case of, not wanting to address the elephant in the room, but then having people like myself, like, talk about it. It was like, we can definitely relate to that. I think even prior to like writing the songs and stuff, like, me and all my friends were talking about COVID and talking about things that weren't right without getting too political, but there were things that were going on that we just couldn't agree with. Like, I'm sure there was others who felt the same, but then having that, and then having people like come in and message me going, I didn't know about what you'd gone through in the past, and like it's like obviously a really big thing for you to like address all the past incidences about being in care, and like how you've gone through that and gone on your journey to kind of be who you are now. That's something I relate to. I think the one thing that has been similar across the board is that like not being afraid to talk about it, no matter what the subject is. It's like, having someone come forward and lay it out on a canvas has inspired some people that I know now to not be afraid to like talk about things that matter to them, and I think that's just brilliant in itself. Like we need to all talk about things, and if we can do it poetically, or if we can do it just like by gaining confidence through somebody else, like that's the way it should be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I completely agree with you. Indeed. We do apologise if you're hearing a strange sound coming from my guest. I thought it was me at first, but I did turn my microphone off and it wasn't me. So apologies if you're hearing a strange sound. I don't know what it is, but it's picking up kind of like a vacuum cleaner or something like that in the background. So we do apologise from that. But hopefully you were able to understand my guest perfectly fine. Just put that out there before people comment after this or whatever, saying, "Oh, there's some strange sound going on," and then they blame me, and not me, unfortunately. So they'll be hitting out on me.
If I mute my audio, does it?
Yeah, it's gone now. The audio's the sound's gone, so it's coming from you. It only just happened in the last few minutes, so I don't know what's happened. I don't know what you've pressed or done, but.
No. So because it's like the hottest day of the year, it's not since.
Is it your fan?
That time forgot. It's literally like made my fan on my laptop like going to overdrive.
Makes sense. So, that makes sense. So that's fine. That's fine. It always happens, doesn't it, when it's very hot and computers and technology didn't know what to do. Jay said that he was at the first Manchester show and he's going to be back in Manchester in the pit in October. So good for you. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope maybe you can, dress up and maybe even scare Tony and the rest of the group, perhaps.
No, honestly, it'll be full circle. Like you've come to the first show, and like you'll be able to see how it's growing, and I hope that you've got a fresh set of lungs in your mate, because everyone's going to be singing and having fun, and obviously try not to get too like rowdy in the pit. It will get freaking aggressive, I bet. But I just saw a comment that you said, and mate, like to have something like that. Obviously, I was in the Raven Age for 5 years, and I know obviously you still follow that band, and you followed me through that journey, and just appreciate you. I appreciate Linda as well. Like the fact that you've got a tattoo of my signature on your arm, mate. Like that is that's a weird feeling for me. Like I appreciate that I can be kind of relatable to you, and I've helped you in your own way. So I really, really appreciate that, mate. And I hope you really, hope you're doing well.
No, absolutely, I agree. Completely agree with that statement there by yourself. I got to mention though, you mentioned about this great first time UK headline tour, your debut album. What is going to be next for you guys, or is that too soon?
No. I can talk. No problem. We're already, we're always writing. As musicians go, like we're always trying to write stuff, and like at the minute we're just prepping for album 2, even though that sounds like it's miles away. For us, it's not. We're always writing, and we're just getting ready for the next year. There's talks about things in the works that I cannot say for now, but it's all exciting, and we're gonna, let's just put it this way, I think we're gonna be busy next year.
Good.
So just keep up to date with all the all the socials and stuff, and you might just see a show appear near you.
Funny you mentioned about social media, because that will lead right into my next bit of this, so we can show where you can find our guests this evening on social media. You can find them on Facebook, also on X, also on Instagram as well, and wherever else you can get music, and YouTube as well, music platforms, streaming platforms, website as well. Even on Google, just type in Defects and it will come up straight away, and it will take you straight to them. This is very easy to find, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's how we like it.
Absolutely.
You keep it slick. No, you're welcome. I did like to promote it on the screen every now and then, so you'll be seeing that again shortly. So, second album in the works already. Cool to see that. Can't wait to see what happens and what it be called and what kind of tracks you'll be playing on that. Looking forward to that. Where do you guys get the inspiration then for the songs? So did it just come to you at any time of the day, or did it just come to you when you were in a particular room, or when you're all together?
You know, it's weird, like, because of the way this band started, which was like, it started off with myself, Luke, and James as like the trio at the start before we got the other two, like got Harry and Dave in. Me and Luke were always writing. It's been that case for the album, like where we'd write the majority of the tracks and whatever, and then Harry and everyone else would come in and like tweak the drums, tweak this, tweak that. So there was already like a massive body of work already done. But usually when, you know, I write songs, I'm here in my studio and I always write like kind of with my chorus first and then kind of branch outwards. But it can hit at any point. Like I could be out like doing something like fitness or whatever it may be, and like you'll get an idea for a melody, and Luke's the same. He'll be working or something, he'll get an idea for like a cool riff. And then like 3 hours later he's sent over an instrumental.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, yeah, no, honestly it's a real like tight ship, and everyone's the same. You know, Harry will come up with a sick beat and send it to me, and David's coming up with stuff as well, and it's like, yeah, we all kind of write like separately and then bring it to the table.
I like that.
But yeah, sometimes, I mean, speaking for myself, like dependent on real life, you know, stuff going on, that can trigger me for subject matter instantly. Echo Chamber was like one of those tracks. Goliath was one of those tracks. Like when COVID hit, Lockdown was one of those tracks. It's kind of like in the moment, you can just write something within an hour. Some songs are harder than others. Like Broken Bloodlines, we had initially like written half of that song, if not most, maybe even more than that. But the chorus just weren't right, and we kind of put it. I did. I put it on the back burner, and a year later, I was like, oh, I've got this cool idea for a song, and then I kind of dove into that instrumental again. I was like, oh, let's just paste that over that, and then that became Broken Bloodlines, and then it was one of our. So it's weird how songwriting works, but yeah, it can be. It can either be separately, or we can either all come together. But me and Luke mainly write together. We trust each other in terms of that style, but all the styles of music are different. I've got like new metal traits in me because I love Linkin Park, I love Killswitch, I love Breaking Bad, I love All That Remains, I love Partway Drive, all these kind of influences. And then you've got Luke, who's like a little bit opposite to me, like Five Finger Death Punch, Machine Head, like Lamb of God, like all these kind of different acts. And then Harry's a bit more like Architects and like newer stuff as well, but then there's like elements of Bullet and Bring Me. Like it's sort of in terms of style, but the cohesion so well because we're able to like balance it all out to make a song that everyone's happy with. There's like an element of everything in that one song every time. So if you listen back to any of our stuff now, you'll probably see what I mean. Like if you listen to End of Days, you've got that lead in the intro that's like very old school, and then the chorus is a bit more rocky, and like you'll see what I mean.
No, I agree. I will be agreeing with you when I listen to that. And to anybody who's never listened to your music before, I'm thinking, if you're listening to this or watching this for the first time today or tonight, wherever you are, I'm thinking, this guy's pretty cool. I'm actually going to check out some of his music, and I might become a fan of these guys. Because again, you're reaching an interesting audience, because again, we've got people living in the UK, but also America, and even Australia as well, I've been told. So, living down under. Let's talk then as well, because, collaborations. You mentioned some cool people there, cool collaborations, but of course some obviously can't happen now because of unseen circumstances. But who would you want to collaborate with on a future album or future tour? Because I know you already got somebody on this tour already, but is there anybody who you would love to do something with in the future?
I mean, in terms of like touring, I thought you meant like actually like do a song with.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. If I'm doing a song, or even.
You said tours, yeah. From a tour, I'll break it down.
Sorry.
So from a tour perspective, people, I think like going on tour with someone like Architects or Killswitch Engage or Bullet, like anyone like that, obviously like would be amazing. You know, they're right up our street, and in terms of like the music and stuff, I feel like we kind of bring the same thing, and the energy as well. And it would just be an honor to play with our peers. You know, and even from a like a collab perspective like that. You know, I've always, I mean, it's unfortunate it would never happen, but I always wanted, in my mind, to have Chester Bennington on a song with me one day. Obviously, that can't happen, and it's one of those things I've never truly gotten over. Like people inspire people, right? And he was like my main reason to get into music, right? So that's a shame that can't happen. And I mean, to be honest, the chances would be so slim anyway. Look, I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh, Defects want me on a track," but no. Someone like Howard Jones as well, I think, would be a really like cool guy to have. Even Jesse Leach, like I love both of them. I think they're both a really good fit for Killswitch. Charlie Simpson, I know that's a bit random, but Fightstar made a big impact in my life back in the early 2000s when I was growing up, and just to have Charlie on a song would be full circle for me as well. Who else? I'm trying to think. Maybe even like if we were talking like when they released Beautiful Lie, Jared Leto. I'd love like him on a track, you know. For me, it's like old school alternative rock, you know, that kind of thing. Love that vibe.
Well, you mentioned about Bennington, of course, not be able to perform with him on a song, but I mean, there's so many ways now where you kind of could, because all this great technology out there now, so you could kind of do it with their permission, I guess, in a way. You know, it wouldn't be him in, you know,
AI
in life, but with spirits, you never know, because they tried it out with the Beatles, haven't they? They released I guess an album of sorts, and you kind of got like some older voices from the past, of course, who are no longer alive, being involved with that, which is using technology. So who knows? He could make an appearance, a cameo of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'd go down that route. I mean, it's
I'm just throwing out there.
Yeah, but yeah, it was always a dream of mine. Like, but at one point, I think we are going to start like going down that route of seeing who would actually be available for it. So there might even be a collab in the future. If it's for the second album, that'd be cool. If not, the third album, but we're definitely going to go down that avenue. So, like, we'd love to do something like that, and especially with one of our idols, you know, that's a pinch me full circle moment, you know.
There you go. Let's just go back over some of these comments, because I don't miss any of them out, because that'd be good of me. So they want to know as well, some of these people, great people, I think it was from Linda Van B, which connects to my question as well. So when you're going to be performing, because we just remind people that you are performing several days in a row without a break. So how are you going to keep your voice in good spirits and keeping it that it's going to be, you know, 100% every single night? Because you've got like 4 shows, I believe, in a row before you have 2 days off. So how are you going to keep it?
4 shows. Yeah, so obviously as a vocalist, like, there's something you never... Well, I say you never get used to. You get used to it, but it's something that you have to really work on. Like, you know, you can't just do a tour as a screamer and expect to like just get on by. There has to be like technique, and you have to take it easy. And when I did the tour with Orbit Culture, like, we were out for a month, and we were doing 9 shows on, 1 day off. 7 shows on, 1 day off. I think we had like 4 days off on the entire run.
Wow.
So you get used to it as a vocalist, but you have to be careful. You're not invincible. No matter what technique, you have to take it easy. I've got a vocal steamer. I try and get a good amount of sleep every night. I'll have moments, even if I feel good vocally, I'll have moments where I'm not talking, and this is why even at home, I know obviously like this tour's only like it's like 4 shows on and we've got a day off and then like 3 shows on, I believe, but this is why I'm so like regimented to fitness now, because I feel like if I didn't have that, it would be a lot harder, so I try and keep up with every area just to make sure I'm able to do this. It's important.
Yeah,
for sure. It isn't easy.
When you are I guess as well at the show before it, I guess you get a bit nervous. I guess maybe you don't, I don't know, but I mean, how do you warm up your voice? Any techniques? Do you have do you go to see a person to help you to warm your voice up in a correct way, or is it just coming naturally to you?
I think, for me, it's like I'll do like a 10-minute thing, where it'll be like, doing siren warm ups, so like kind of thing, and then I'll try and do like I've been doing like less gritty singing because like when I'm trying to do screamer vocals, like it's just a lot to try and keep up with. So I'm doing things slightly differently just to make it a little bit easier for myself. But screaming warm ups will kind of be like very lazy. How do I explain it? It's like lazy screams. So it's kind of like an exhale kind of warm up. So like yeah. And you kind of do that, and eventually like everything gets lubricated, and you're just able to kind of get that raspiness that you like.
Yeah.
So
well, hopefully that answers some questions out there for anyone who's wondering about that or curious. Hopefully so. As a J says, I'll bring you some Vocalist tea for Manchester with a laughing out emoji.
All that stuff definitely helps. Vocal Zone, like I have Vocal Zone with me most of the time. It's a good way to get rid of like the excess mucus and open up the airwaves. So I do actually like have a lot of them on hand. And then I'll be drinking kind of like Americanos and that through the day, because that just helps keep everything open. It helps, like, if you had any inflammation for any reason, like, because even with the right technique, you can still get, like, fatigue and inflammation, so it just helps with reducing any inflammation that you might have had. So, yeah, no, I always bring a bit of Vocal Zone with me, and, yeah, I have, like, Americanos quite a bit, and lemon water.
Yeah. Good things to have. So it's like when you're having a sore throat or a cough, isn't it? It's like similar amenities to have for those, isn't it? Really. So it comes in all in handy, which is good. Linda Van B says she loves the video of Broken Bloodlines as well. As a J wants to love to hear you and Mark Tremonti do something together. I'd be happy, lol. He says.
Oh no, that I mean, in itself would be amazing. Obviously, like me, Mark, Eric, like we were all friends, like we did a lot of touring together over the last, like, in those 4 years.
Yeah.
So MJ was on stage with him, I think, because I was going to do the Volbeat run, and then I was, if I'd stayed, I would have done the Tremonti thing. So maybe that could have happened then, I don't know. But yeah, no, it was good to see, my old bandmate do a thing with him, doing, I think it was like a Dying Machine. But yeah, maybe, if Defects ever have like a time where we have a lighter side to us, which I mean, on every album we want to try and do that. It might end up making the stars align, and we might end up getting a tour with them one day, and, you might see it one day, you never know.
Why not? How do you guys, or yourself particularly, when you're not creating music or coming up with new ideas with your bandmates, how do you relax? Do you even relax?
In a bittersweet way. I relax, but I don't relax. Like, I don't know what's changed within me. I think, like, on a real subject, because of, like, there's been a lot of like death and stuff around me, very serious stuff. It's kind of kick-started me to wanna like be like work on myself and like not make mistakes and like try and live a full healthy life, right? And it's not easy, but I don't know, since all this kind of stuff happened, it's really kick-started me. So I'm like all into fitness now. I'll play like so this guy Mr. Balticus, me and him, we play Apex Legends, if you've ever heard of that.
I have, yes.
Quite a bit. We're pretty sweaty on that game. And then I'll play some like Rocket League or something. I'm very big into Rocket League for some reason. I don't even like football, and I like racing, but then when you combine the two, it's made something truly groundbreaking for me. So I play that a lot. But yeah, just like, you know, hanging out and like, and then obviously even when I'm not writing music, I'm still enjoying playing guitar, or I'm still enjoying like just singing in my spare time. I love cooking.
So it means we could see you on MasterChef Monday then.
I don't know about that. I mean, the way I'm cooking at the minute, I'm boring as fuck. But,
well, we would love to see it. Maybe you should go live on Instagram or something. Teach us a new recipe or something. We want to see it now.
I did. What was it like? A really right. So you should try this sometime. Okay, so you just get chicken breast, butterfly it, score it, put it with some flour, salt, and pepper. Put butter in the pan. About 4 minutes on each side. Oh, it's perfect. You just can't. You could, even if you're bad at cooking, you couldn't mess it up. Or you could, but you'd have to be. I mean, like, here's bad, right? And then you'd be like out of the screen. You'd have to be out of camera. So
fair enough.
But
Well,
yeah,
I think we want to see your cooking skills. You know, and let your fans judge you. They might learn something new, or maybe they might teach you something. Who knows?
It might teach me something. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know you mentioned about playing the guitar in your spare time. One of the comments on the YouTube chat was asking about when will you be playing that in Defects, basically.
I mean, since joining Defects, like I always wanted to be a vocalist again. That was my thing. And don't get me wrong, I love playing guitar. And, you know, between, you know, Linda and Azza, like, look, I miss those guys too. Like, you know, that was a big chunk of my life and I put a lot in. And, you know, I do miss doing that sometimes in terms of like having both. I wish I could do both, but it's just not possible. But I had a chat with Luke and I said, look, like, it'd be really cool, you know, when we get a bit bigger and we have got, you know, a bigger slot, that, you know, I can do some guitaring and that we could do like me and him doing like a kind of solo together or something. Because like stuff on the album, like, you know, I'd written, you know, like for example, like Goliath, I'd written and recorded, and Gone to Waste, a guitar solo was written by myself. So like I still get involved with writing, you know. So it'd be cool. It'd be a cool thing to try, you know. Whether or not we do like, I don't want to go down the route of MJ. And Linda and Azul will know what I mean. I don't want to get the acoustic guitar out. I want to get, if I'm going to do it right, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to come out with a full-on electric and I'm going to shred like I used to. So that's like what I want to do.
Good answer.
Yeah, maybe at one point. But I like, you know what? It's one of those things as well. Look, Luke is a fantastic guitar player, so I've never wanted to take that away. Like everyone has their own role, yeah. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh look, I can play drums. Oh look, I can play guitar, and like it's the one man band show. Like I don't like I like playing. It doesn't mean I have to, you know. Yeah. But maybe one we'll do something together and we'll Shreddy Krueger it up and here come the.
So there will be people watching this at a later date, and they will be thinking, why didn't you not ask this question? So I'm going to do them a favor right now. So it's been bothering me, and I don't know about other people, because I'm sure someone will comment about it in the future. If they don't, then they obviously don't care, but I do. Behind you, there is I don't know what it is, but it's stuck against, I guess, one of your doors behind you. It looks like a box. It's not being opened, but I don't know. Again, quite far away from me, so it might not be a box. It might be something completely different.
Wait, this one or this one?
That one. Yeah, that one there. Yeah.
That's just a door to get out.
No. Next to the door. Next to the door. There's like something leaning up against the door. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's a mirror.
Is that a mirror? Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a mirror.
It looks like it's in a box, like an Amazon box.
It's a mirror to a paranormal dimension. That's what it is.
Okay, I like that. Okay, fair enough. But from where I am looking, it looks like a box with something in it. So I was just curious. So that
because it's reflected. So I've got because in the studio, because I don't want to have to go. I've got a mini fridge, I've got a kettle, and I've got some cups and stuff. You know, a toaster, just there. In case I get hungry when I'm doing vocal takes. You know what's really funny, right? So obviously, can you still hear that jet engine of a laptop going?
No, it's stopped.
Oh,
now.
You can't now.
It's gone again. Yeah, it's great.
I should have maybe used.
Well, I thought when you first joined the show, I did thought you sound very clear. So I thought maybe you were using something. So there you go. You just showed that.
I should have plugged it in though. It's the SM7B. Michael Jackson would be proud of me.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess it didn't matter because still hear you. But I just wanted to point out earlier on, in case you're thinking, where's this weird sound come from all of a sudden? It had nothing to do with me. It was all my guess. Pretty clear up. But it didn't work it out. It's fine.
If you asked anyone in my band, they'd always say, whatever it is, it's me. Just point at me and just blame me. It's fine.
Fair enough. Well, let's see. Anybody else has commented here? Let's see. Unboxing lol. It's a normal door. Yes, it is now. We're in that for a fact. I was more interested in what it was leaning against the door, but there you go. Good question. Let's just ask that quickly before we end this. What mic do you guys use, or don't you know until when you show up to the venue?
No, I've got my own mic. I bought an SM58 wireless mic so I know MJ was using a Sennheiser, and I think that's what I'm going to upgrade to at some point. But for now, it's just a standard SM58 wireless microphone. I'm glad it's wireless because doing some of the stuff I'm trying to do at the minute, if I'd done that with a wire, I think someone would get strangled. It just wouldn't happen. So I'm glad it's wireless. Yeah. I remember in the olden days, I have to say the olden days now, because I feel like I'm getting on.
Yeah, how old are you? How old are you thinking that you're the olden days? You like you're fit and healthy and young man. Not like one of these older ones.
Age completely wrong to what my actual age is.
Right.
It would make me feel good.
So do you want me to guess your age?
Yeah, go on.
Well, I was gonna say early 30s. So you're going to say probably.
Yeah, no, all right. I'll take it. At least I look my age now. Fucking hell. But yeah. But yeah, no, the other bands I was in, we had wired up mics and. Honestly, I tripped. I went into the crowd with a wired mic. I started having a mosh pit. I was tripping everyone up in Luton.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, I bet you were tripping people up or yourself up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had to change at that point. But,
Can't blame you. Let's just recap because, of course, exciting times this coming. I guess autumn/winter, October 29th onwards, you can catch Defects with special guest Profiler on tour across the UK. Be there, or you can be squared. Begins on the 29th of October and ends on the 17th of November. On the 7th of November, just say, in Birmingham. Wish you the best of luck with that, and I can't wait to hear what all the feedback is at every show, and I cannot wait that Manchester's going to be hosting your first ever Halloween edition of your tour. So can't wait to see how that all goes. got to mention as well that hopefully that whenever you have more exciting news to share with everybody, hopefully we can have you back on for a second appearance on this show. I feel like it's been quite eventful and quite entertaining, almost an hour. I did tell you before we went on the air that, oh yeah, this wouldn't last an hour. This will probably go at half an hour. This is what I was thinking, but look at that. We're now almost to the hour, so we've got good chemistry.
You haven't met waffle, like you met me and mate, I could talk for hours.
Yeah,
just waffle on.
Well, I don't prep this show.
But...
I don't prep this show. This is a off the cuff, relaxing conversation. We just chat. This is what basically is. It's a chat show with some questions and questions from fans as well, which is great. And we have a good old time. And before you know it, it goes like that. The time. Got to mention though as well. Before I do end this, I'm now intrigued. So when you got the, I guess, the person who reached out to you saying that I was interested in having you on the show, did you Google, did you research my show, or did you just say yes, why not?
So I did a bit of research, obviously seeing that you've been doing this, and it's just... We were interested, so I kind of got like a heads up over the last couple of days, and then literally like went like a blur, and here I am.
Yes, here you are indeed. But I hope that from what you've researched and what you've heard about this show, I hope that it was exceeded your expectations before you came on tonight as well.
No, absolutely, yeah, no, honestly, amazing, job, and. No, you've asked the right questions and it's been really chilled. So I appreciate you having me, and No,
you're very welcome at all. And so we can't wait for all of you. Good luck with your tour. Hopefully no legs will be broken or any vocals going out of tune or being a bit rusty. So hope that all goes well for you. And we cannot wait until it happens and for the second album and whatever else you guys may do, because I'm sure maybe you might want to branch out and go on tour in Europe, for instance, or even America at some point, hopefully next year, maybe.
That is going to be on the cards. Like we're looking for a very, very big year next year, so we can't rule anything out at the minute. We're pushing for everything.
Good. Well, I hope that you do everything you need. That's the main thing. You need to get your name out there as much as you can, and I think you got the right backing, and I think you've got the right fans as well, which were able to get you to that next step, I believe, as well.
I've just seen in the chat as well, like in this question, just want to answer Azza, because I haven't had a chance to really talk about it, so I will talk about it. Yeah, they are my screams on the on that album, and obviously I was heavily writing alongside them on that album, as you know. So yeah, there's still a lot of me on that album, mate. So yeah, appreciate that you noticed anyway.
Absolutely, great. And again, you are allowed to respond, because that's what I like. I like to have an open forum where you can respond and we can respond and all that good stuff, because we don't want to cut anybody off and not answer everyone's questions, because people might think, oh, you answer my question, but you answer somebody else's. So we want to make sure everyone's treated fairly and make sure everyone's questions are answered as much as we can. It's been a pleasure having you on the show this evening, Tony, and I cannot wait to hopefully have you back on the show again if the person who made this happen was also happy with how this went as well. I hope he will be. Just a reminder, you can find my guest on social media. Of course, you can find him on there, Defects on Facebook. We are Defects on X, and also on Instagram, we are Defects. They're more popular, though, on Facebook and Instagram at the moment. So hopefully, as the year goes on, hopefully you will increase your exposure on X and get a bit more of a following on there. Because I know you're not really being posting much on X compared to Facebook and Instagram. Is that something you have been wanting?
We try and keep up with every platform. I just personally, I just don't know what X really is anymore.
Right.
What is it? Instagram, Facebook, and all that. It kind of like still has the familiarity, but X just like for me, it's just like. You tried to do something here, Tesla, or whatever. You know what I mean? What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Like, it just backfired on him, and it just, yeah. But we try, okay? Yeah. So if you are on X, if it's still known as Twitter anywhere else. We're trying.
Yes, that's all you can do. It's all you can do is try. We'll leave it on that. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to smash that like button, share the video around, tell everybody about Tony, tell everyone about the Defects, tell them why you should be supporting them and checking out the music. Make sure to check them out on tour as well, because I said before, if you're not going to be there, then you can be square, because you'll be hearing a lot of things about Defects, and then you should have been there, because then you're going to be there part of history in the making, because history in the making is going to be happening this year because of the fact that they're going to be in Manchester, UK on Halloween night, where it's the most spookiest night of them all. And I'm sure my guest said before that there's going to be a lot of tricks on the tour, so perhaps there might be a few on Halloween night. Only way to find out, you have to be on the tour, from Glasgow to Birmingham, from London to Manchester. You have to be there to see it, and then you can live it, and then you can tell me if it was worth it, or you say, what a load of baloney you've said on this show tonight, Edward. It was not as good as I was expecting it to be. It will be. Trust me, it will be. And until the next episode drops, then please, if you've not already, subscribe. If you enjoy the content, want to see more of my show content, love it, subscribe today. 262 of you have subscribed, so thank you so much for that. And until whenever I'm live again, whenever that may be, enjoy the rest of your evening or afternoon, depending where you're watching this from. Good night.
Catch you later.